Good evening, our beloved viewers. It's 9 p.m. You're watching on Live RTD channel. Welcome to this English news edition. Coming up, the headlines. The communal and regional election of March 2022. And on the international scene, the Occidental diplomatic efforts are still going on. Those were the headlines. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom. The municipal and regional election kicked off on Friday morning in Djibouti, the capital, and the 5th interior region as polling stations opened their doors nationwide early at 6 in the morning, and polling continues until 6 in the evening. Friday, more than 205 and 1,000 voters were called to today. Friday, in the 529 polling stations in the country, most of which are located in the capital, Djibouti, the list of the Union for the presidential majority, and to the independent list, which are citizens and are competing in this election. In addition to the Justice and Development list, this voting process comes to elect members of regional and municipal council after the end of electoral silence, which followed the competing electoral campaigns for those councils which are concerned with the strengthening of the decentralization system. According to the deputy governor of the capital and the police station in the city of Djibouti, its three municipalities are stations and estimate at 37, comprising about 305 electoral office.
shisheeye dabkiisa kasweeyi dareensan shisheeye dabkiisa kasweeyi dareensan wixii duminaya u diida dhulkooda ogow deriskooda dad weeye gargaara goob weeye dastuurka daryeela ammaanka dad weeye midaysan dantooda yaqaana shisheeye dabkiisa kasweeyi dareensan shisheeye dabkiisa kasweeyi dareensan wixii duminaya u diida dhulkooda intaan dibad joogay dal oo dad aan la maseeyo u diirsada waaye
The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, made this today statement this Friday and mid-morning as a part of reaction to the press after having fulfilled his civic duty to vote at the office first located in the district of Djibouti. He said, "I am all the more attached to the organization of a polls and the exercise of the political and democratic transparency." Note in the same reaction, the head of state who had went to polls with his wife, the first lady of our country, and the president of the National Union of Djiboutian Women, Ms. Khadra Mohammed Haid. The vote of the head of state relates to the holding today the regional and communal election of the Republic of Djibouti, which will take place the 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. today in the territory. Numbering of between the addition of the Union of the Presidential Majority, the main political coalition of our country, two other independents are in this today holding this number of the municipalities. In the rest of the municipal and the capital of the region on the interior country, the polling station of the municipality of Ras Dika opened their doors at 6 a.m. local time. In the respect of voters in Ras Dika, the register of the electoral rolls of the coming went to this center to participate in the communal and regional election which take place after the end of the electoral campaign, which lasted 2 weeks. And this election is taking place under the auspice of the Independent Commission for Communal Regional Election, and as part of this election is taking place under the supervision of the Independent Commission for the Communal and Regional Election, chaired by Bahnan Ali Meidel, as part of our media coverage of this important national event. Our national television team went to many polling stations in the municipality where the bolo takes place. In they note that this list of the Union for Presidential Majority of UMP is the only candidate to win the seats of communes of Ras Dika. It should be noted that the municipal and regional council are responsible for the consolidation and strengthening of administrative and governance. The municipal and regional council are in direct contact with the need of the citizens, and they are best able to determine their needs, whether at the level of municipalities of the capital and the region of interior. For their part, voters in Ras Dika municipality went to the poll this morning to elect their representative in the Ras Dika municipality council. He completed the top of a union list for the presidential majority. And now the people of Bulaus municipality cast their vote to elect their representative in the municipal council and it should be noted that the municipality of Interior has taken the necessary measure and its arrangement to enable voters to cast their votes in the entitlement and in favorable atmosphere. According to the deputy governor of the capital, the polling station in the city of Djibouti and its 3 municipalities are estimated at 37, comprising about 305 electoral offices. It should be also noted that the Ministry of Interior has taken the necessary measure and arrangement to enable voters to cast their votes in the achievement of the favorable atmosphere. In related context, polling stations opened their doors this morning in the municipality of Belbela. Today, Friday, the 11th of March, the 744 voters went to the polling station of Belbela. For their part, the people of Ali Sabih region and its sub-district went this morning to the polling station to elect their representative in the regional council. About 2,300 male and female voters were invited to vote in the polling station for the region. Voting is an important and primary means by which individuals can influence government decision. Voting is when an individual chooses as a candidate to represent him in the elected bodies that prepare laws in some decision-making position. The Minister of Budget and the Minister of Trade and Tourism each cast their votes in the municipal regional election. It should be noted that the list of the Union for the Presidential Majority Coalition are the only ones with regard to the list of candidates to run in the electoral process for the capital and all the internal regions, excepted for Al Sabih region, where two independent lists from the civil society are competing for seats in the regional council, as well as the ANP list, the Independent National Committee for the Municipal and Regional Election, headed by the chairperson of the commission, made an inspection tour in Al Sabih region to get a closer look at the various voting materials and the measure taken to conduct this election. The vice chairman of the committees closely mentioned the electoral list as he meant to monitor the electoral list as well as other voting tools, in addition to the measure taken by the competent authorities to enable voters to cast votes on the 11th of March. And it should be noted also that one of the most important functions of the independent municipal and regional election committee is to set the necessary regulation and procedures for the implementing of vote process, as well as supervision the polling station and also providing the announcing of the result. Like the rest of the internal region, municipal and regional election were launched in Dakhel region, where a voter went to the 62 polling station. The number of registered voters in the region is estimated at 22,800. The candidates of the Union for the presidential majority in the region went early this morning to the polling station. In turn, the Minister of Infrastructure and Equipment, Hassan Mohammed, and the Minister of Environment went to the polling station, and regional authorities, but also the head of Port and Free Zones Authority, casted their votes in the electoral process in the region of Dakhel.
pour les élections régionales et communales de ce jour, du 11 mars
And
2022.
now in Tajura region, 18,400 males and women vote in the Tajura region. They went to the 56 polling station. The head of the electoral list of the Union for the presidential majority cast their votes in their election. This voting process came so to elect a member of the regional and municipal council after the end of the electoral votes, which followed the election campaign and competing for those councils which are concerned with the strengthening of the decentralization organization. The Independent National Committee for the Municipal and Regional Election, headed by the Deputy Committee, will supervise the conduct of the electoral process in the entire polling station, which will close its door at around 6 in the evening. 11,462 voters in this region were able to vote. And now in Oboch region, 162 voters in Oboch region in the north of the country went to the polling station to elect their representative in the regional council. The estimate polling station in the region of Oboch, 35 electoral office and 11 of them in the metropolis of the region. Those elections were held in the region of Oboch in a calm atmosphere. For its part, the Independent National Committee for Municipal and Regional Election is supervised by to the conduct of the electoral process in the entire polling station, which will close its door at around 6 in the evening today. In Arta region now, about 10,861 male and female voters were called to vote today, Friday, in the 27 polling station in the region of Arta and its sub-district. It should be noted that the government of the prefect of Arta region has taken the necessary measure and is arrangement to enable the voter and cast their votes and duties in this entitlement in a favorable atmosphere as the governor of the region, Mr. Mohammed Sheikho, went to the polling station to closely monitor the electoral process. The Minister of Energy and Natural Resources and the authority of the region of Arta cast their vote to elect the representative of the people of Arta in this regional and municipal election. The President of the National Assembly, Mr. Muhammad Ali Hamad, participated in the work of the 77th session of the Executive Committee of the African Parliamentary Union, which started its work yesterday, Thursday, in the Rwanda capital, Kigali. More than 120 delegates, representatives for the 41 African parliaments, attended this meeting. According to the African Parliamentary Union, this session will be an opportunity to exchange best practices in the fight of confronting the COVID-19 pandemic, promoting good governance, innovations, and economic recovery for the post-coronavirus in the area, as well as the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. The agenda of this session include, in particular, the delegates' study of the implementation and the decision make to recommend the conference of the presidents and the provisional accounts for the 2022 and also the financial year. The Minister of National Education and Vocational Training also spoke about this and said favorable under the patronage for this. He said the continuous meeting every year
USAID and Embassy of United States of America. It's a great pleasure. We've had a great partnership with the Ministry of Education, with MENFA, and even though this project is coming to an end soon, the achievements of the project have been outstanding. the collaboration between the United States government and the government of Djibouti, in particular the Minister and Ministry of Education, and the work that we have been doing through our implementing partner, EDC, is really, really outstanding. And today's handing over of the equipment, we are hoping that they will help to prepare young Djiboutians to be able to work effectively in the workplace, to respond to the jobs that are here in Djibouti in the private sector. And for me personally, it is a great satisfaction that we are able to provide this assistance to the young Djiboutians in particular, and that it will reinforce and strengthen their job skills and their ability.
Now, moving on to the international scenes, diplomatic effort to resolve the Ukrainian-Russian crisis are still stalling, despite the two sides entering into a series of negotiations that have not made any progress, with the two sides entrenching themselves behind their position. Russian forces continues to advance his counterpart toward the capital, Kiev. The Russian and Ukrainian foreign minister folds on Thursday to reach an agreement in Turkey on a ceasefire in Ukraine during their first meeting since the Russian invasion. This is it for this edition. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful evening.